Thank you for staying with us. The All Progressives Congress has emerged victorious in the two recently conducted by-elections in Edo State, securing both the Edo Central Senatorial District and the Ovio Federal Constituency seats. INEC declared Honorable Joseph Afegbua of the APC winner of the Edo Central Senatorial District by-election, which became vacant following the election of Senator Monday Afegbua as governor of the state. But the Edo State chapter of the PDP has rejected the results of the senatorial and House of Reps by-election. PDP accused INEC of deliberate sabotage and described the election process as a severe blow to Nigeria's democratic integrity. Tonight, let's speak with Kassim Afegbua, former Commissioner for Information and Commissioner-designate Edo State, for some answers to questions around governance, party dynamics, continuity, and accountability. And if time permits us, we'll also talk about national politics. Good evening to you, Mr. Afegbua. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Good evening.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
Right. So quickly before we move on, could you please confirm the authenticity of those reports that I have, which indicates that you're commissioner designate specifically for the Ministry of Information, a position you have previously held. Is this true?
I can't run more than my shadow. The governor of the state has the prerogative to appoint or allocate portfolio. I'm still undergoing screening. I appear before the House of Assembly Committee today on ethics and business, and by tomorrow I will be appearing at the plenary for the formal screening, so I cannot preempt the governor.
All right, so just for the benefit of this conversation, your commissioner designate, which is that there's some tendency. So if confirmed, what should the people of Edo State expect from you this time? And I ask because Edo State has changed significantly in recent years. What will your communication strategy be, especially with a more digital savvy and politically conscious public?
Well, thank you for that question. This is a familiar terrain. All I do for a living is mass communication. I'm a mass communicator, whether in the traditional or the digital sense. I'm also a writer and all of that. I'm not saying new challenges, except that we are going to be applying different techniques to approach the different publics of the Edo electorate and Edo public, as it were. We have a governor who came on the stream of a popular contest. He was elected by popular votes, and he has hit the ground running since he came on stream, going around building infrastructure and attending to campaign promises. And so my responsibility, if I'm given that portfolio of information manager, will be to help, sell the Edo brand to the Edo people across the world, and so to Nigerians and to the global space. We are not living in isolation. We have some things going for us. Inheriting a state in rot and decay and taking it to a new level now will require a new sense of commitment and shared vision. And that much we will do if I'm given the opportunity to serve in that ministry. But I can tell you that the narrative is changing from what it used to be in the previous administration to a new one. Before now, Edo used to be in the news for the wrong reasons. But now Edo will be in the news for the right reason, because we have a governor who is able to put pay to all cries of marginalization and domination, divisions and what have you. He's been able to address all of these issues. There is now love that permeates the length and breadth of the state. There is homogeneity of purpose. There is some level of camaraderie. There is smile on the faces of people. So it's a different ballgame altogether.
All right.
And I want to commend the governor for changing the narrative in such a short time, because
all right.
We had infrastructural decay, but he's actually responding to all of those decay and ensuring that Edo is put on a stronger pedestal as we move on.
All right, then. While we wait, perhaps I should say congratulations to you. But let's talk about the just concluded by-election. PDP is saying INEC deliberately sabotaged that election. How do you interpret such displeasure, even as Governor Afegbua also raised concerns over the slow performance of of beavers. Is the PDP out of line?
You see, the PD. I don't know why. When each time the media wants to discuss PDP, they don't need to give them attention. You know why? Because PDP is a party in disarray. And when you have a party in disarray, they want to clutch at every flotsam to stay afloat. The point must be made very clearly that PDP in the last by-election last weekend fielded two candidates within their own party, both for the House of Assembly, House of Reps, and even the Senate. As we speak, there is still litigation going on as a result of who was the authentic candidate of the PDP. When a party presents such kind of scenario before the electorate, creating confusion, creating all manner
Mr. Afegbua, are you there?
of contradictions. You don't expect the election. In all the 55 local governments of Edo Central, APC won handsomely, 51 wards. They couldn't even win one. Even the governorship candidate's own ward was won by
I
APC.
get that, Mr. Afegbua, because, yes, your party won, but the governor complained about the slow performance of beavers, and some have, interpreted the governor's remarks as a vote of no confidence in INEC, which may have somehow validated PDP's reservation and outright rejection of that election. Would you say, or do you agree that any potential failure or malfunction of beavers could impact the credibility of the election outcome?
No. See, when the governor complained about slow performance of beavers, he was speaking from his polling unit. That wasn't the general perception of the entire election in all the 51 wards. And there are quite a number of units. I don't know the exact figure of the number of polling units across the 5 local governments, but they are quite much. And so the governor only transparently and sincerely expressed the fact that there was slow performance of beavers. Chances are that when he left there, maybe beavers picked up in his own polling unit and all that. He didn't say that the beavers didn't work, but he said there was slow performance. So that does not vitiate the outcome of the election.
Which may have also happened in other polling units. But I want us to talk about
that is presumptuous. That is presumptuous. It's not. It wasn't the case. We didn't have any complaint of any of such hindrance in other polling units.
All right, let's talk about governance in Edo State, because, when Governor Okpebholo assumed office, he introduced this Shine agenda, and multiple times he has said this is a visionary roadmap that places security, health, infrastructure, natural resources, and agriculture. He also talked about education at the heart of Edo's transformation. It's been 7 months or thereabouts. Is Edo better under Governor Okpebholo, or would you say this is too early to tell?
Olajumoke, I would pleasantly extend invitation to you to take you around Edo State and see the volume of work going on in Edo State as we speak. Edo State has become a construction site, thanks to the governor for his vision, thanks to the governor for his love for the state. It is one thing for you to be a governor who loves your state, and it's another thing for you to be a governor who is a predator to the economic possibilities in the state. This one is a homegrown governor who, before he became a governor, even before he became a senator, was doing things for his community, was building roads, was building boreholes, was constructing schools and all of that. Now that he has become a governor, popularly elected by the people, defeating his opponent, handsomely, he is doing things to recover the ugly narrative of Edo and put it on, on a positive note in the hearts of the people. And you see, when you have a governor who has emotional intelligence, who has humility to a very large extent, who is not carried away by the appurtenances and the apparatchik of governance and power, such a person will naturally, warm himself into the hearts of the people. And that's what is happening in Edo State. I can tell you for free that Senator Monday Okpebholo has jump-started governance in a manner that proved bookmakers wrong, because they denigrated him use all kinds of language to undermine him during the campaigns. But what we are seeing on ground is a contradiction of what what they thought he would be. He has proved his bookmakers wrong
So let's
by
be
doing things
specific.
positive. He's constructing roads, he's constructing schools.
Right. So let's go there, Mr. Afegbua. This is because of time. Right, because of time. I want us to be very specific because I remember it was about 3 weeks ago when the governor commissioned the new Edo line. And since then, there have been some tags, or more like a question. Residents are asking, Edo line on Edo bad roads? Because, many communities, especially in rural and semi-urban areas, they say still lack access to motorable roads. I'm wondering, what's the APC's plan to address the state's poor road infrastructure?
Okay, that's very simple. I'm happy that you brought up the issue of Edo Line, a moribund transport company that used to be a brand for Old Bender State and later to Edo State, and ran aground to the point that nobody even remember Edo Line any longer. So the fact that he has been able to buy about 100 buses and he's jump-started that particular transport resource is also, an added advantage to the economic well-being.
Mr. Afegbua, can you hear me? Are you there? Mr. Afegbua, if you can't hear me, I mean, I understand what you've said, and understandably also, these kinds of questions would come because some would say, how would road investment like the 58 billion naira spent in 2023 on 737 kilometers of roads compared to economic losses, from delays, spoilage, and the big fish, which is insecurity. In 2025, the governor allocated 162 billion naira specifically for roads in his first budget. And there are growing concerns about inflated contracts and abandoned road projects. What systems are in place, or what systems does the APC have in place to enforce transparency and accountability?
Well, incidentally, the governor has a special advisor on project monitoring and evaluation, project supervision. The team go about ensuring that there's compliance to the standard in line with the road construction, in line with other construction. In every department, maybe the Ministry of Education, they have their own supervisory team. The road construction, they have supervisory team. And so once you are able to go on the ground to inspect things for yourself, then chances are that contractors will wake up. Just 2 days ago, the governor went on Sapele Road to inspect the quality of what the contractors were doing. And he frowned publicly at the slow pace of work, despite the mobilization that he has paid to that contractor. And he didn't hide it. He said, no, this your slow pace is not acceptable. I want to see a more commitment from you contractors. And he said they should come and speak to him on why there is a slow pace. You see, there are quite a number of roads that we abandoned in Edo State, and you can't take all of them at once, particularly during this rainy season. If the rain stops, there will be faster approach to constructing those roads and doing them. But in the interim, he's also ensuring that there's compliance to standard and that nothing will stop. Edo people are happy that they have roads that are now passable, roads that were hitherto abandoned by the previous government and where they erected signboard and said, this is federal government road, please bear with us. Government Okpebolo does not know what is federal government road, he doesn't know what is state government road because he believes that Edo people are applying those roads. So he's going ahead to construct roads, whether they are federal government, whether they are state government, as much as they are within the boundaries of Edo State. And so he must be commended for that initiative, for taking the bull by the horn and using his connectivity with the federal government to bring attention to the deplorable state of Edo roads. He has called on the Minister of Work several times. He has brought him to Edo State to inspect road projects that are ongoing. He has also prevailed on them, pressurized them to ensure that these roads are completed in record time. I think for me, I will score Mondo Pueblo 95% thus far because beyond what anybody expected.
You're his commissioner to be, so I mean, that is not surprising.
I don't, I don't suffer fools. If you are not doing well, I'll tell you that you are not doing well. If you are
All
doing
right.
well, I'll tell you you are doing well. I was
I
a
also
member of
remember.
APC when I was criticized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also remember that the last time we had a conversation, which was in December, we had this conversation about the administrative panel of inquiry set up to investigate some financial dealings. And since then, there have been no updates. What became of the uncovered 200 billion naira, the road contract debt linked to the administration of Governor Obaseki?
I think you wait to hear from the governor because we have finished our job, we have submitted, and it is now left for them to
So when would
set
that
up
be?
a proper a proper judicial panel that will be actionable under the law. So I won't preempt the governor. He has the best opportunity to tell us when that particular time will be, when the action will be taken on those reports. But there were quite a number of infractions, financial malfeasance and proclivity that that dominated that particular regime. And for me, as an individual, if I have my way, I will even want such judicial panel to start yesterday. But there are quite a number of persons who say, don't be distracted by the inanities of the past. Be focused and deliver on your campaign promises so that the people can at least enjoy the dividends of democracy coming from such a very bad predecessor.
All right. When it comes to securing the lives and property of every resident of Edo State, how different is this current administration's approach from that of the previous PDP administration?
Well, essentially under the PDP administration, there were too many divisions, too many crises. Even within the party, the PDP, they were having three different factions. That alone presented serious insecurity insecurities across the land. That also bring a lot of divisions, political altercations, and what have you. Now there is homogeneity of purpose in the way and manner we do things. The APC is united, is one. We have received literally about 80% of PDP into our fold. All the chieftains of PDP, a lot of them have come. Others are still, pushing the door. They want to open the door to come in and all of that. It tells something about the governor, that the governor is accommodating. The governor is also able to build unity around the party. And so, to a large extent, that is also impacting on the kind of security well-being of the state. As we speak, the governor has opened, how do they call it, a military camp in Edo Central that used to be very vulnerable to all kinds of kidnapping and what have you. There's a military camp now, thanks to the Chief of Army Staff and Chief of Defense Staff who made that happen. We've provided them a particular accommodation that will help them temporarily to operate from. He has also put in place the Edo Security Corps, rejuvenated it, retrained the men and women,
All right.
recruited about 2,500 persons, and that also, they have also
All right.
sprung to action. And quite a number of other initiatives that he has taken in terms of community engagement, talking to traditional rulers, ensuring that they talk to their wards and what have you.
All right then.
All of these are happening simultaneously to ensure that there's security to lives and property. It's not going to be a one-day job. It's a continuous exercise, and we will continue to ensure that we do the needful to be able
All right.
to nip all of this in the bud.
All right. In the last few minutes left for this for the program, let's talk about national politics. Do you see the ADC as a serious threat or more of a fringe party?
The outcome of this by-election is one, but you see, the media should also thank the ADC for us for choosing to remain at the back, because the word ADC is aide camp. That means an ADC to a principal will naturally stay at the back. So this ADC has chosen a name that suits them to stay at the back. Though they are providing ADC services, ADCOM services to Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. ADC leaders are staying at the back providing that ADC services because they are ADC, and all ADC stay at the back. So they choose a name that positions them appropriately as a party that operates from the back. So they will remain at the back while the president leads from the front. So that's, to me, says it all. We don't have to bother ourselves, worry ourselves with tired legs, fatigue politicians who, because they are not involved in this APC conversation, are thinking that they can utter the apple cart just like that. No, we are too familiar with the operators and the players.
All right, then. Sadly, we're out of time, but I'm sure we'll continue that conversation some other time. Kassim Afegbua, former Commissioner for Information and Commissioner Designate Edo State. Thank you so much for speaking with us tonight. Thank you. And thank you very much for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Meanwhile, you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at 12:30 a.m. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X. TVC News NG. And